Good evening. Welcome to LoveLogical, DNA Not Required. This is Michelle L. Anderson, coming to you live from PodcastDetroit, Royal Oak Studios. We are looking forward to intriguing and entertaining you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Let me start today's show by saying thank you for joining our family, which is biological by nature, LoveLogical by choice, DNA Not Required.
Hello, everybody. I'm DeLon Kennedy. This is the LoveLogical podcast show. Thanks for all the people watching on our Facebook page. You can check us out on www.lovelogical.com. Today I have Mr. Christopher Lee. We've had him as a guest before. He's my buddy Shaggy. Okay, we're going to talk about a lot of things today. We're going to talk about some of the LoveLogical things that he's been doing in his life. We're going to talk about, some of the people that he's been helping and what he's been doing for charity. We're going to talk about some of the new things in his life. We're going to talk about some of his secret projects. We're going to talk about quite a few things with him today. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you doing today, brother?
Hi, thank you very much for having me, good sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how's your day going today so far?
I'm okay. Been doing some stuff in the recording studio. That's about it.
Okay. All right. So, last time we talked about, like how you're the LoveLogical father for what used to be my dog, like you took over, and Layla, she's grown like a weed. We talked about some of the things that you were looking to get into in your life, like starting your business and getting everything moving forward. I want to talk about some of the LoveLogical things that you've been doing. Like me and you, of course, you're my brother. We talk a lot, but like I can really say that you've made a very, very strong LoveLogical connection with your nephew, and you making that connection, it just lights up the world, man. Teaching him to be teaching him what a young man is supposed to do and how a young man is supposed to act. Like that to me is just, it's where it's at, man. Tell me a little bit about him. What kind of things do you like to do together?
He's 8 years old. He likes video games. He likes skateboarding.
Mm-hmm.
He likes a little bit of arts and crafts.
Okay.
He didn't really have a father figure in his life.
Yeah.
So when I stayed there a little bit and tried to teach him, manners and politeness and respect, and I would take him out and we would help older ladies and stuff at grocery stores and help them hold doors open for them, help them load the groceries in, and say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, please, and thank you.
These are the things that a man is supposed to know. It's kind of like he's your LoveLogical son, like you're teaching him the fundamentals that are lost in society today, and that's a beautiful thing, man. What kind of music things are you teaching him?
I'm teaching him a little bit of diversity. I've taught him a little bit about opera, choir. I'll taught him about a little bit of techno, rock, especially rock. Coming from me. And teaching him timing, and let him watch me produce music in real time. Yeah. And that way he gets a little bit more grasp of what music is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's hard.
That's what I try to do.
Yeah, it's hard to really understand music, especially if you teach them to read music at an early age. That's just a plus if you ask me. I love music myself, so I can 100% understand why you're teaching them these things. Are you guys still playing the guitar?
Repeat that.
Do you guys play the guitar, or what instruments are you playing with them?
I started out with drums.
Mm-hmm.
Showing him drums and teaching him that music is math. Music is completely math. You have your 1-1, your 1-4, your 4-4, and your 32, and your 16. And teaching him his timing, and to me, that relates in life, because math is a huge factor of everything in life. And
is it?
When you get a good rhythm,
Yeah.
you know, you feel it.
Yeah, it
Okay,
reverberates through your body.
You feel from your heart. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing was to teach him, not only you're creating content, you're creating something that touched the soul and the heart.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep, man. I can understand that. Like, I've never really been an opera fan, but before I die, I do want to go to an opera. You know, preferably like somewhere in Europe, and you're like dressed in like these expensive tuxedos. I don't know.
I've been there and done that, good sir.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. So like, you know, he's been like pretty much staying with you a little bit, you know, just to try to spend some of the summer with you, right?
Yeah, it's probably about an hour away. We get in for about, I don't know, 8 or 9 days at a time.
Okay.
And trying to keep him away from negativity and produce positivity and give, you know, a good positive influence and somebody to look up to, because he really doesn't have anybody to look up to. And I try to be that positive influence for him.
Look who our kids, like, to me it's like I'm looking at my daughter and she's like so like into JoJo, and I'm like, who is JoJo? And I'm still trying to figure it out, because we randomly ran across a JoJo section in Target yesterday, and these were like the most hideous clothes you've ever seen in your life. But like Samaya swore by them, like she wanted them. It looked like a jumpsuit that should have been like Earth, Wind, and Fire was wearing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, what is this?
Like Urkel?
Yeah, no, it wasn't like Urkel. It was more like like some who was the guy? Like, I'm thinking of he was like he was the R&B guy with all the crazy George Clinton.
Oh yeah, he really had the wild hair and the wild clothes.
Yeah, like this is
he was an influence on people too, though.
He was.
He was a really big influence.
Yeah, he's still is to this day. Like, he's a great part of the community. You know, like his music helped, like you said, touch the soul. You know, it changed things for people. It gave people opportunities. You know, but yeah, man. Like, you were telling me that you were working with a few, like, you know, fundraisers. You did a couple of fundraisers for the EVGA, and also like some different advertising and events and graphics and logos for like nonprofits, and, you know, or helping some of the charities around. You know, tell me a little bit about some of these things. Like, what's up with this fundraiser?
Yes, sir. Okay. So I have done a lot of different projects already this year. I've done, I think, 4 different nonprofit organization logos this year. And I did a few charity events. I did the EVGA charity event. We did a live stream for 24 hours straight, nonstop. And it was for St. Jude's Hospital.
Yeah.
And we raised over $11,000. And their team built a computer on the live stream, and I think it sold for like $1,200, and then that money was donated to St. Jude.
Wow, that's really cool.
I helped with that. They were having problems doing the overclocking, because they were doing live overclocking and setting it up, and I was telling them what to do, and they're like, "Oh, well, we didn't think of that."
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I helped with that event, moderate their chat, answer tech questions and tech help, and helping people, and constantly, you know, advertising, you know, go donate. Yeah, I've done a handful of like different charity stuff this year.
Yeah. What about some of like the graphics and logos? What kind of companies are you doing the graphics and logos for at this time?
Well, I did LoveLogical.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
I did that one. Yeah, I did. Let me see here. One moment. Let me look through my notes.
Yeah, he did do
I did Save the Pearls.
Oh yeah, Save the Pearls. That was a really beautiful logo.
Yes, I did save the pearls. I did put a lot of work and thought into that one.
Yeah, it was a really good. It was a really good design.
The other ones I'd rather kind of not mention.
Okay.
I kind of want to, but kind of don't.
All right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have permission.
I got you. I understand. You know, like it's just good, you know, like to actually give back to the community and help some of these like nonprofit organizations, because it's like, you know, some of them are still at the base, you know, and some of them are just getting started. So it's always good to have someone that can come in and, you know, like help you, you know, make this logo, help you with just, you know, a little bit of advertising. You know, maybe you need some sort of graphic. You know, it's always good to have that person to just come in and that can hook it up. Like, Shaggy, that's why I love you, man. Like, you always.
That's what I've been doing since I was young. I started as a teenager, actually before I was a teenager, doing uh, stuff like Ronald McDonald House, Make a Wish Foundation, Princess Foundation, a lot of nonprofit stuff. I did big spaghetti dinners for homeless people.
That's awesome.
I did big banquets for handicapped, disabled children. I hosted big events.
Yeah.
They were just like I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 people, big event. And if you brought in 2 labeled canned goods, then we would knock off $5 at the door, and then half of the proceeds would go to a nonprofit organization to help handicapped kids and homeless people.
Yeah.
You know, and we would donate the canned goods. So I've been doing this since I was really young.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool, man. I know when I was growing up, me and my mom, we used to always work with different charity and different groups. Like we were, I know Mom will remember we used to always go to Damon's. It was a rib place, and we would go to like these different Ambucks meetings. And I always felt like I always had like my little notebook, you know, like in front of me, and I always felt like I was part of this, like, you know, this organization of people who just always gave back to the community doing different events and stuff. And I'll never forget, like we gave a bike to a paralyzed little girl, and it was the kind of bike that you pedal with your hands compared to pedaling it with your feet. And I'll never forget that, like just the expression, the look on the face.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like it was.
That's incredible. I really love to hear that.
Yeah, like growing up, that's the kind of stuff me and my mom did. You know, like we'd start little businesses. You know, we make soap. I sold soap to all my teachers and all my friends' parents and friends. You know, like it was like that's who my mom is. My mom she always has like just this wisdom that she's gonna hit you with. You know, like so no matter what, like you're gonna get some wisdom if you hang out with my mom long enough. She'll do something that'll just have you like blow your mind real quick. Like, oh man, I never really thought of that. You know, but yeah, man, like I love the fact that like you work with some of these nonprofits. You know, like the St. Jude's fundraiser. You know, like that's how every human should live. You know, we should all volunteer or give back in some type of way. Like, you know, like it'll help us get through like and maybe end a little bit of this pain that we have in the U.S. right now. You know,
that is an amazing story, and I'm in complete agreement. And I do what I do for no profit. I've been paid a few times for some logos and stuff, but
yeah,
I do what I do for the love of people, and people need that. We really don't know everybody's life situation.
Yeah.
And struggles. Everybody struggles one way or another. And I try to do my part, and I sleep well at night for it.
Yeah, man. That's why I kind of think the LoveLogical should become a movement. You know, like it should be.
I'm not in disagreement.
Yeah, like it should be a movement. You know, like be LoveLogical to someone in the world. You know, it should be like a challenge. Like, how are you LoveLogical today? You know, and rather it be that you're letting your nephew stay with you. You know, just because he loves spending time with you, and you're that role model, or the fact that you see a homeless guy and you take him out to eat with you. You know, like, hey man, it looks like you need.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, man. I used to always, if I was going somewhere when I was younger, I would always help the homeless. It's just because, man, you never know, you might be there one day. You might need that person.
Yeah, I'm going to complete agreement here. I'm going to cut you off for a split second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was a young teenager on a skateboard, and I was doing nonprofit stuff for the Princess Foundation, Ronald McDonald House, and Make a Wish. And one of the big reasons is how I was taught. But my niece had the most rarest disease in the entire world.
What was it?
And correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's called encephalocranial lipomatosis, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was like the 6th or 7th case ever reported in human history.
Oh, wow.
Of this disease, yeah. So my sister opened up the Princess Foundation to help disabled and, handicapped children.
Yeah.
So before that, I was already doing charity work. And then when my sister came up with that, I did even more, know. So I just kept the ball rolling. I like to help people, and I want to help encourage people to help people, because we are the only thing we have. We live in a very cruel and disastrous world. So I want to be a positive influence and encourage other people to do the same.
Yeah, I can completely agree. Because, the world we live in, it's so full of hate, man. To me, it's hard to understand that people can just sometimes hate, especially you hate on the homeless. I understand that everybody nowadays is not homeless. Like, sometimes you'll see somebody standing homeless and they have some better J's on than me. I'm, what? Hold on, but other times, you can tell it's a family, and sometimes they just want to eat, Some people just want to eat.
I myself, I'm not happy with the way that people are viewed or treated because of their view. Race, religion, and stuff. None of that shouldn't matter. If you're a human, you're a human. If you're a person, you're a person.
Yeah.
And we all have love, and we have to show care to each and every individual.
I agree with that. But in order to get that going, you have to change something about how humanity treats each other.
I'm not in disagreement.
All right, my man. Tell me about the new house. You've lived in it for a few months now. Tell me about it. How's it going? We talked about it a little bit when you were getting settled and moving in. Did you complete the workshop and everything else that you were trying to build?
All right, so we've been in this new house for a little bit less than 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the workshop, the recording studio, everything is coming together. I have a lot of projects in the works.
Okay. What kind of projects?
I'm doing a secret project, one I will reveal now, for a video game company. It's a AAA title. The game has been around for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't reveal the name of the game, but I'm going to be doing a soundtrack for that. But I all I can say is it's been kicking butt for 25 years.
Do you play it often?
Oh, yeah. I've been doing a lot of filming with my guitarist.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Shred.
Okay.
And he is one of the best guitarists I've ever known in my life. He is amazing. I've known him over 25 years, probably 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing a whole lot of filming, doing kind of little teasers on the filming, like test sessions, practice sessions, getting the studio set up to where, the speakers are where they want them, the amps are where we want them.
So you can get that good vibe in there.
Repeat that?
So you can feel the vibes coming at you. It's got to point at you.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been full force.
So you're gonna do an album, a whole album for a video game that's been around for a while.
That's the goal. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What kind of music are you planning on putting on this album?
This is going to be straight heavy metal.
Heavy metal. All right.
Yep. The second project that I'm going to reveal is quite different, and I will reveal this one I want to do at least one soundtrack for Final Fantasy of Square Enix. I've been an old fan of Square Enix and Final Fantasy since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And, so I want to do kind of like an orchestral production with my own style of feel, with a Final Fantasy feel. And I will reveal that video game. I haven't talked to Square Enix yet, but I'm about to shoot them basically a proposal.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure they'll accept it.
Now that's really cool. That'd be a cool story to tell. I haven't played Final Fantasy since I was a kid. That was the game. It was like what, Final Fantasy 5?
That was a good game.
It was. That was a lot of systems ago. I mean, but I like the
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, the new ones though, like the new Final Fantasies, they look amazing. I've just never had the opportunity to play one. I don't think, because it took so much time when we were kids to get through Final Fantasy. Like, we would play this game for hours and hours.
You're talking 90 hours plus just to beat the game.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, and it took months. Like me and Brandon playing this game for months. Like, and it's
so that's the game plan that I have going. I'm building this recording studio.
Okay.
I'm building this workshop, and I want to get into video game music. I used to tour. I don't want to tour anymore. I don't want to sign autographs anymore. You just want to be. You want to
leave your mark.
Yeah, I do want to leave my mark, and all in the due process. I want to be helping people in nonprofit organizations and doing what I can because I have that ability,
Yeah.
So I don't want the limelight. I don't want the spotlight. I want to help people, and I think making video game music is awesome.
Yeah, I do too. That's really cool. That's really cool. So you got a new like company. What's your new company?
Well, my new company, I haven't really decided on the name. It's a computer company. I have been doing government work, repairing government computers and servers and stuff.
Okay.
But not under a name just yet. I haven't decided on that. My YouTube channel, which I'll be coming out here shortly, I'll be filming my guitarist shred, and I'll be filming computer repair. I'll be filming live gaming streams. Watch me play a video game. When the new Doom Eternal comes out, I'm going to be playing that and probably streaming that. Just fun stuff, goofy stuff. But the main stuff is really the music. I really want to showcase Shred. He is amazing. I would compare him to somebody like Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he is amazing. And I posted teasers to some family members online. Nothing too public.
Yeah.
This is to showcase my guitarist. He will blow your mind.
I've never, that's cool. That's cool. I need to come visit you before the end of the summer. Because
it's always open.
I know I really want to see your studio, because I love the studio.
It's coming together. It's taking its time, but it's coming together really quite smooth.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of stuff in storage units because of the move. Big speakers, amps, amplifiers, receivers. I have a lot of things in storage. I have like 3 storage units and stuff in my mom's house, more in Hawaii. I'm pretty sure that's gone, though. I haven't paid on that in quite a while.
Yeah.
It's gone. Yeah, adios.
Yeah.
But, I've got turntables and mixers and
you already know, when I come down, we're going to get in the studio for a little bit. I'm all about that studio life.
I call the studio the dungeon, is what I call it.
Okay. Why do you call it the dungeon?
I don't know. It just has that feel, that vibe. Like you just go down there and it's a dungeon.
Okay. So we've already covered. All right. So with it being a dungeon, what are you going to like? Why do you call it the dungeon? Like
Well, it's in the
that's
basement.
yeah, but
It's
why?
kind of dark and dreary
Oh
kind
man,
of feeling.
so you're not gonna lighten it up?
Oh yeah, I'm doing lights and sound foam and curtains all the way around.
Okay.
The lighting, and I'm gonna have cameras all around, different areas to film everything, whether it be computer repair or recording my guitarist or sound sessions,
Mm-hmm.
practices, and it's gonna be multiple sections there, but it's gonna be so cool.
Get
And
some
I
music. Get some music
get
going
close
in
to being
there.
done.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I definitely am gonna come to have to see that. And Layla, I miss Layla. That's my girl. You know, plus coming down that way, I can bring Samaya with me and take her to her nana's house. So that's always a great thing. One thing I love, man, is the fact that like you're my love logical brother. I can come down there. You can always come up here to me too. I'm actually waiting for that. You know, um, I've been to Louisville a couple times. It might be your turn to travel, brother. But being my love logical brother,
You are my love logical brother. I know for a fact if I were to drive up there unexpected, no phone call, and go to any member of your family and tell them who I am,
they know you,
they would accept me in.
of course, because you're family, man. And your nephew would be welcome too. I got some cousins about his age. They gonna have a good time, man. Like I'm sure
Hey, kids like to play.
hey, he can skateboard too, so he'll keep all the little kids, distracted.
Hey, I was almost a professional skateboarder. I was sponsored when I was young,
Hmm.
and I got hurt. I was super super good. Tony Hawk taught me how to kickflip back in 1994.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. I met him on accident. Me and a friend were just skateboarding down Louisville, Kentucky, and we saw this guy skating, and we're like, "Wow, he's super good." So we like, okay, as skaters go, they skate together.
Yeah,
So we went to go skate with him, and we're hanging out with him for like an hour. And he's like, "Hey, I got a skate demo down the street. You want to come?" And we're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I'm Tony Hawk. I own the company Birdhouse, and I have a skate demo at a skate shop down the street." So we, followed him, went in VIP. It was awesome.
wow, that's really cool. That's a good story. That's a good story. I never really met I never really met too many famous people. I met a couple, but not like that. Like that's really cool. Tony Hawk is a great like he's great for the skate community. He does a lot of charity work for himself. I can always appreciate Tony Hawk, man. And like when it comes down to it, like just like I said, man, come anytime. But I really want to talk about like how did you get involved with the EVGA? Like how did you find this organization?
Well, EVGA is a computer peripheral or parts company. They do power supplies, video cards,
Mm-hmm.
computer cases, sound cards, and stuff. And I'm big in the tech community. So one of the biggest techs out there, his name is Steve Burke from Gamers Nexus. And about 3-4 years ago, he introduced me to the head, uh, basically the head of production. His name is Jacob Freeman,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh well, we do live streams. We're about to start doing live streams, and we have something called Twitch." And I was like, "Well, I've never used Twitch. I know of it."
Yeah.
So they convinced me to do that, and this was at a PAX event, PAX, which is a computer event,
Mm-hmm.
computer and gaming event. So every Friday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will go in there for 1 hour, and they'll do a live stream. And what I do is I'll monitor and moderate their chat, where I'll answer tech questions. I'll answer and help with anything. That way they can focus on their stream to pretty much do what they need to do, and they don't have to answer questions. They let me do it.
That's
so I
really
got in
cool.
tight with the guys.
Mm-hmm. So
that's just kind of how that went.
What else did like? So you do okay? That's cool. I can understand that. Like you never told me that. I wish I could have saw some of your live streams. That'd have been really cool. I would have had some I'd have had some tech questions for you because I really want.
I'm involved with a lot of live streams.
I got some actually tech questions for you. You know, like when we get off, man, because I really want you to build my computer for me. You know, like so we got to talk about that. You know, and I want it just business. You know, like so that's.
I pretty much already have that designed.
I already know. I already know. That's funny to me, man. Like I called Shaggy about a week ago now and told him like, yo, I'm ready for you to build my computer. You know, like just let me know what it is. You know, and he was like, I got a lot of questions for you, but I'm like, man, I don't know nothing about this. You got this, bro. Like he's a computer savvy kind of guy. You know, but
that's an understatement.
That's so the first we had an interview and I went through like a lot of the material. I won't even lie. Let's just talk more about like you, man. Let's talk about some of the history of you. You know, like my favorite thing about you, like that we didn't really get to dive into, was you know like some of the things that you got into when you were younger. You know, like almost being a professional skateboarder. You know, like having isn't your dad your LoveLogical dad?
Yeah, she is my stepfather.
No.
My stepdad,
yeah. He's your LoveLogical dad. I'm drill
correct.
that into you. So, you know, like tell us about you guys' relationship growing up.
Growing up, yeah, it was different than most people, I would say. My stepdad was chief of police, and the crazy story. I'll just make this fast. I think I was about 3 years old, and my grandmother was a security guard, and I took her handcuffs and I handcuffed my knees together. All right. Well, they couldn't find the handcuff key, so they called the police. Well, my dad showed up. You know, so that's how my mom and dad met.
Oh wow, that's a good story.
So, here's where it gets even weirder. So he asked her out on a date, and he come over to pick her up on a date, and I don't know why. Again, I'm 3.
Mm-hmm.
I jump up, wrap my legs around his waist, and I scratch his face.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't know why. I have no idea. I was 3. But I scratch his face, like big time. I draw blood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my mom and dad, were dating, and they got married when I was like 4.
Oh, so that's
and
quick.
So I grew up with my dad being chief of police, and a lot of people didn't want to know me or didn't like me because they knew my dad was chief of police.
Heck yeah, you're the police's son, like you're the cop's son.
But then the people that wanted to know me were like, "Oh, you're like the coolest dude ever."
It's because your dad was the chief of police.
No, because I'm me.
You know what they like? You know that's never mind. I won't say that.
Nobody ever tried to take advantage of my dad being a cop. I even never took advantage of my dad being a cop.
You didn't have to.
I never did.
You were a goody.
No, I never was. I promise. It's kind of like the cop's son. I was like, oh, my dad's a cop. No, it was never like that. Most times I didn't even tell them who my dad was. They ran my plates or my ID or whatever, and they figured out who my dad was, and they asked me, hey, are you Daddy's boy? I'm like, yeah. And that's how that went, because I never wanted to take advantage of that. I felt that was wrong.
Yeah, I can understand. can understand. I would totally take advantage of that. Me as a person, like, hey, you know my dad, he's the chief of police.
Most people would. Most people would.
Yeah.
I had a lot of encounters growing up where I got stopped or pulled over, or I was skateboarding somewhere and a cop showed up and they're like, "Oh, you're Danny's son?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, well, I've known him since 30 years ago, and I went to college with him." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay."
Next thing you know, you're getting the whole life story. Man, that's my guy right there, And yeah, I never had
Pretty
that.
much.
I never had that. Like, my encounters with the police weren't always pleasant ones, but I've had some really good ones. Like, I won't no lie, I've had some really good encounters. And actually, I have an ex-sheriff that's my LoveLogical mom, one of my LoveLogical moms. So, I've had the good and the bad, because I know some really good police officers, like some solid ones that'll have your back no matter what. But then I know I've met a couple police officers that probably shouldn't have been officers, and that's,
it comes down to, that's the LoveLogical aspect that, he's my stepdad, but he's my dad.
Yeah.
And I looked up to him, and a lot of people realize and don't realize that just because you're not blood related doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's the truth.
People are the family that we choose. That is LoveLogical.
Yeah.
And you could be black, white, yellow, purple, brown, blue, Smurf, like Papa Smurf,
It's my nickname.
If you're cool, you're cool. You're not, you're not. That's what it boils down to. If you're a good person, you're a good person.
But the thing is, when it comes to people don't have the morals like they used to. Like, I feel like that's something that is lacking in the new day and age. It's like, like even with me, I'm guilty sometimes of letting somebody get on their tablet for a little too long. And it's just because it's easier. Like, that's who we are as a people. We want to make things hold on, I gotta sneeze, as easy as possible, and that's, I don't know, like, sometimes it's just lazy, like, instead of going out.
Well, it's convenient.
It's convenient.
That's why the convenience store exists.
Yeah, because convenience. Everything's convenient these days for us, I don't think that, like, I haven't been camping in over a year now. Like, I don't know if I could go camping and sleep on the ground again. Like, like, my bed is really comfortable. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm going camping, because it's just keeping it real, man. Like, I don't know if I could rough it, I'm sensitive.
Well, the biggest thing to me is what people don't understand, what LoveLogical really means is, let's say, for instance, we lose all electricity, go under martial law. There's no more Walmart. There's no McDonald's. There's no Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take care of each other. Okay. We cannot have any type of racial or religious divide.
Yeah.
We have to help each other in that type of situation, because how else are we going to survive?
Yeah, like that LoveLogical relationship, that it just
exactly
it would bring everyone together.
Relationship.
It would bring everybody together, no matter what. It's just, this day and age, like, sometimes I think that it's just hard to trust people, because especially around your kids, like, even going to the park, like, it's just hard to trust people.
People are very selfish, greedy.
They are
self-absorbed, self-centered.
They are. It's scary though,
and it's a lot of it. To me, it comes down to the time that we live in.
Yep.
And our surroundings, our environment. And our environment is the biggest thing. One thing I would really like to point out is we are the product of our environment.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a violent environment, you're going to be violent. If it's a peaceful environment, you're going to be peaceful.
Not necessarily, though. You see, you say that, but
well, that's true.
I know for a fact. I've even had a couple interviews on the show that prove that you're not always a product of your environment, that you can overcome and you can become or do whatever you put your mind to. I would say that, even growing up, like seeing some of my friends in Detroit, like you're not always a product of your environment, because sometimes there can be like that needle in a haystack. There's that rose coming out through the sand in the desert.
And
Like,
welcome to me.
yeah, like that's those. These are the yeah. These are the things though. Like I would say Antoine. Antoine's like my love logical brother. And Antoine has been over my grandparents' house since he grew up across the street, and it was not in like the best conditions. But Antoine was the one kid that he was the hardest worker out of everybody. Like this boy cut everybody's lawn on the whole block. He would go house to house to house to house. And, oh, well, if I cut these two empty lots, can I get paid for those two too? And my grandpa would just laugh like, yeah. Like they would buy us. He became a love logical brother because my grandparents literally like took him in. Like when they needed stuff for school supplies. Clothes for the summer, because the boy is like 6'6", like tall as the Andre the Giant looking almost, and he grew fast. Like he went from being like 5'2" to 6 foot in less than 2 years. 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like just one day. Like I left for
Well,
a
that sounds like
year.
a really kick butt dude.
He is. He is. He's a really, and he's genuine. He actually reminds me a lot of you. That's why I brought him up. Because it's just the few people that you meet in your life that literally like it's like they're that needle in the haystack. They're the people who change the world, and I feel like Antoine has changed the world in his own way.
That is awesome to hear.
Yeah, that's how it should be though. That's how we all should be. Like
Well, I don't mean to interrupt,
no, you're good.
and I'm not in disagreement. Um, you know, I think people can do their ability, and the way that I view things is, if you have the ability to help someone else, then it's your, like, obligation to do so.
I think that starts with parents though. Like you being so helpful is because you saw your dad being helpful. You saw your dad like he was literally a hero.
Yeah,
he
I mean, I did idolize my dad in a way.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he's literally a hero. He's a police officer. I put the police right up there with the military. With firefighters. Ambulance workers, teachers. They're on that same level, and they're literally the heroes of today. It's like we should give our teachers more than what we give them, but they're part of this hero.
Oh, yes, very much so. We
Yeah,
we should definitely give our teachers and our firefighters, our policemen, a lot more than what they're getting now. I'll tell you something even more cool. Is my grandmother? She was the first female firefighter in Bullitt County.
oh wow.
Yeah, my grandmother. She was a huge influence on my life. Um, and she was, again, like the first female firefighter. She helped out everybody that I've been surrounded around, growing up, has helped people and done things like that, and it's been a very big and positive influence in my life.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily the environment that you grew up in, but it's the people who help to make that environment better. It's always about the people, like those people that you had influenced your life dramatically, because technically you could say you're still a product of your environment. I know you had some mischievous ways in your younger years, just like me, myself, and my mom, and every other adult on this.
We all have.
You know what I mean?
All
But
being
it's
young.
it's literally the company you keep. It's like those parents that were extra parents to you. Those people who literally like, because I think that's how I became the person I am today. And it wasn't necessarily that I did grow, but even I could say everybody from Jan and Bill, just Jan before Bill. Like I remember Jan when she was still single. Miss Tucker, Miss Denise Tucker, John and Carol Tweet House. They lived across the street from me. They were the best neighbors I could have ever asked for growing up. And these are the people who, like, I think helped mold me into who I am today. Like, because I could have went the other way. Like I could have went had a lot of friends go south, you know, and I kept going north, you know. Actually, I think I went more southeast, and then I went west. But that's a different story. You know,
I think that it's the growing progress
yeah,
and the learning progress of growing up. You know, the older you get, the more realization of reality and the life that we live in, the world that we live in, kind of sets in. To me, in my opinion, a person really doesn't know themselves until they're between probably the ages of 29 and 31. They really don't know themselves. I didn't. I did, but I didn't at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't.
And
I can agree with that 100%.
yeah, I did not mean to interrupt.
No, I can agree. I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah, I think that, you know, again, time, and if we could reverse time and go back to, hey, you know, I'm 13 years old and I know what I know now, 20 years, you know, prior, you know, things would be a lot different. But can't nobody see the future.
Be a millionaire. Be a millionaire right
completely.
now.
And we are the product of our surroundings and product of our environment.
Yep.
And it does help shape us one way or another, whether it be stress, trauma, violence, you know, and I don't want to say the other words, but
you know, like the thing is about the environment, like I didn't grow up in like a bad environment, man. I grew up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, you know, and to me it's like, you know, they say that you're a product of your environment, but I still got into all the bad growing up in Pleasantville. You know what I mean? Like no matter, like it was like literally I could ride my bike anywhere. You know, like nobody ever. Because I lived in Portage, growing up in Portage, which is like a suburb of Kalamazoo. It's literally like the quiet town. You can ride your bike everywhere. We had this huge hill we'd ride down. We'd walk to the store. You know, we could ride our bikes or walk to school if we wanted to. You know, it was literally like just a very, very like affluent, nice community. But I still got into all the bad, you know, because like I don't know, I guess I was trying to fit in and be like that stereotype almost, you know, that what you see is what you get. But you know, like to me that's here nor there.
Following in to the cliche.
Yeah, you know, like, and it's because I did speak different. You know, I didn't speak like them. I said words that I still talk different. You know, I don't know. You just are who you are. You know, like I still work and I try to help out volunteering. You know, I still do all the same things that my mom taught me to do. You know, like, and it's the person. You know, like I would have never been who I am without like my mom and you know all of her friends. You know, basically just molded me like some Play-Doh. I know, you know,
yeah, pretty much. You know, your mom is amazing, and that's what they did for me and to me. You know, molded me like clay. Like that's why I'm an awesome cook.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You know, I'm so talented as I am, and so thankful. We are the mold.
Yeah, I'm actually an awesome cook. You know, and I would say, I guess my mom taught me a little bit, but you know, I think I learned most of it just through years of practice. You know, I used to have friends, Shaggy. Look, if you would have lived close enough, like literally, like I used to have friends that would flock from other places just to come and eat my mom's cooking. Like what are you doing over here? Yeah, like she always made these chicken wings in the oven. They were like oven fried chicken. It was so good. And like Jeremy would show up, like she'd make enough for us, and next thing you know, we got two more, Brandon and Jeremy, over too. Like, oh, you made some chicken wings today. Like Alex was the same way. It's just, you know, my mom's always had like all of us in and out of her house, and then like my mom is. That's why she found LoveLogical, because she is the ultimate like LoveLogical woman. You know, like she.
I was about to bring it to a point.
Yeah, she literally pours her heart into it. You know, and she believes in it. Like, and that's, you know, it's when you believe in something, you have to go for it. So she's been putting her all into it. She's actually, she just had surgery. She's recovering very well. She'll probably be on next week's show. Maybe not. Might be me again. But she's recovering very well. And it's like, I'm just, honestly, I've been like looking back, reminiscing a little bit, and I see like I met a lot of people, you know, and they didn't have like relationships with their parents like me, you know, like they literally like were 10, 12 years old cooking meals for themselves, you know, because parents were busy or one and the same, you know, and it's, to me, it's like I'm very blessed, you know, like a lot of people at my age, you know, don't have their parents, you know, I'm a young 33, you know, but a lot of people don't have their parents. A lot of people have never had that. They have their grandparents who they're taking care of right now. So I'm thankful that I have such a big family, like from my biological family to my LoveLogical family. I'm very thankful for everything that they've put into me, you know, because I am who I am because of them. And I try to teach other people, like other young men, other young ladies, to be like that as well. Like not like me per se, but to be themselves, you know, to always help others. You know, I love the fact that Samaya sometimes will say, yes, ma'am, you know, and it's like, oh, she said, yes, ma'am, you know, like
that is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful that you have such that positive influence. Your mother is awesome. She's an amazing individual. I love her to death.
Yeah.
You know, anything that she calls me or asks me, I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I'll do it, you know. And that is so cool to hear that people have that influence, but not everybody does. And that's what LoveLogical is trying to promote, that it doesn't matter gender, race, sex, nationality, none of that. We're human. We're all human. And that's the promotion, you know, and that's what I love so much about it, that we can bring people together from different ethnicities and love each other the same because we're all human.
Yeah. I would love to take LoveLogical overseas. You know, like go and do a launch in Australia. LoveLogical Australia. We can do it like on the movie Hancock, and we can put the LoveLogical symbol on the moon. You know what I'm saying? Be famous forever. You know, that's ultimate advertising.
All I have to say is you have to pay for my flight.
I don't think we got the millions to go on the moon yet.
Brother.
That'd be that would be the day, though. You know, like on space flight.
That would be so cool, man. I've been to Austria and his stuff. Like I've been over. Like that would be super cool.
Most definitely. I want to go overseas again. Like I want to travel. I want to see. I'm ready to go. I'm getting a little antsy, and so I think I'm gonna have to go to Canada here, check out some Sarnias or something.
I can tell you a few good places in Canada to visit.
Oh yeah, but Niagara Falls is only 4 hours away.
Yeah, I know you're really close.
Yeah, 4 hours. You cut through Windsor. Yeah, I've been
in every state in the United States except for Alaska.
I've always wanted to go to Alaska too. I want to see the Northern Lights.
That is one thing I've always wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend, and shout out to Renegade Legion, by the way.
Okay.
I had a friend in Renegade Legion. We called him Papa. He was the oldest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he went and gone and saw the Northern Lights, and he took pictures and got brochures for me and mailed them to me.
That's really cool.
Cause he knew I loved it so much.
Yeah.
So shout out to Renegade Legion.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, that's the ultimate trip. I think like when I get a little bit older, I want to take my mom on that trip. You know, like hey, how about we take my mom on this vacation and we, you know, literally go to Alaska during the Northern Lights on a cruise.
I'm invited.
Heck yeah, we're gonna take a cruise, man. You know, that's where it's at. Get on the cruise and just go. But hey, man, you know, I want to say, you know, thanks for talking to me today, you know, and thanks for, you know, being so LoveLogical, and thanks for sharing a little bit of what you want to do, you know, with your company. You know, me and you are gonna have to like sit down and really talk about what you want to name your company. You know, and it can't have dungeon anywhere in it. You know, like I'm just letting you know, okay? Like, and we're gonna definitely have to link up, Shag. You know, I love you, man. You're my brother from another mother, and you know, I just want to say thank you. Okay.
Well, may I have a moment?
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you need to, brother.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the recording studio that I've got going on things. Just real quick, I'll make it brief.
Okay.
'Cause I know we're limited on time here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to do a lot of big things and showcase my guitarist Shred for what he is. He's the most amazing guitarist I've ever seen in my life. And, he's going through hard times right now. And that happens to the best of us. He's going through really, really hard times. But I'm trying to push him to be the best person that he can be and stay on task because, this recording studio is a big deal. It is not to be taken lightly. I've had a room in a $3.5 million recording studio with Travis Meeks. He was the lead singer of Days of the New, his studio. I know a lot of famous people, a lot of big business guys. I want to showcase these guys. So, just speaking out loud, I want to talk about the big thing that's coming.
Wait.
The big thing that's coming.
We don't got time, Shaggy. We will talk about that big thing on the next show. All right? So I want to say that if you want to check us out, go to www.lovelogical.com, info@lovelogical.com. This was, Christopher Lee, and I am Delon Kennedy. Shaggy, give me a call later. And thank you guys for listening. Talk to you soon.